Hello students, today we will study chapter number 5, Morphology of Flowering Plants part 1. In this we will deal with inflorescence and the structure of a flower. So what is a flower? A flower is a modified shoot. So it is a shoot or stem part which is above the ground, which is modified into reproductive structure. Now the arrangement of flowers on the floral axis is called inflorescence. So what is inflorescence? It is the arrangement of flowers on a axis or a long part which has many flowers. It is called inflorescence. So the flowers can be arranged in two types. First is racemose. Racemose means the main axis which has flowers, it continues to grow. It becomes very long and the flowers are borne laterally. So the flowers are at the sides. They are not at the tip of the axis and they are in acropetal succession. So acropetal means the old flower, the first flower, it will be at the base and the young flowers will be formed at the tip. Cymose inflorescence. In this, the main axis terminates in a flower. So the first flower is produced at the tip. Hence, the growth of the axis is limited. So the axis or the stalk is very small. The flowers are borne in basipetal order. It means that the oldest flower or the first flower which was formed, it is formed at the tip and the young flowers are formed behind them. So this is the diagram. We can see this is racemose inflorescence. The young flowers, they are at the tip and the old flowers are at the back. In this sketch we can see this is the axis. The old flower is at the back and the young flowers are continuously at the tip. That's why the axis is elongating in this direction. And in cymose inflorescence, we can see the first flower is at the tip. This one, this, and the young flowers are at the base. This is called basipetal succession. In this figure, we can see that there is the main axis. The old flower is at the tip, and the young flowers are at behind. So the main axis does not continue to grow. It is limited. Now what is a flower? So a flower is the reproductive unit in angiosperms. So it helps in reproduction in flowering plants and it is meant for sexual reproduction because it produces gametes which will fuse. It has 4 whorls. So a flower has 4 circles in which parts are arranged successively one after another on a solen end of stalk or pedicel. So the whorls or the parts are arranged on a solen part which is called thalamus or receptacle. It is cup shaped. And the stalk of flower is called pedicel by which the flower is attached to the stem. The whorls are calyx which is made up of sepals or green part, corolla which is made up of petals, androecium which has stamen or the male reproductive part, and gynoecium which has carpels which are the female reproductive part. So the calyx and corolla are accessory organs. Means the calyx and corolla, they are only helping in nature. They are not involved in reproduction, while the androecium and gynoecium are reproductive organs. So they are involved in reproduction because they produce gametes. Now in some plants another structure is formed which is called perianth. So what is a perianth? When the calyx and corolla or the sepals and petals, they are fused, then they form structures called tepals. And the whorl of a tepal or the circle formed by tepals, it is called perianth. Example is lily. So we cannot identify the sepals and petals in lily because they are fused. Here we can see a flower in this receptacle or the cup shaped thalamus. Then this is the stalk. Then sepals, which will form the calyx. Then petals, which form the corolla. Then androecium, which has stamens. Stamen has anther or a lobed structure and filament or a stalk. Then pistil, which form gynoecium. It has three parts: stigma, style and ovary. Ovary has the ovule, which is the female gamete. This is a perianth of lily. So we can see that the petals and sepals, they are fused to form structure. We cannot see different petals and sepals. Now there are certain terms related to a flower when we study the description. First is bisexual flower. So when a flower has both androecium and gynoecium, both the male and female parts on the same flower, it is called bisexual. Example, most flowers are bisexual like China rose or hibiscus, rose, etc. And unisexual flower, a flower having either only stamen or only carpel. So if a flower has only male part or female part, then it is called unisexual. Example are cucumber, papaya, etc. Symmetry of a flower. So what is the symmetry of flower? So mostly the symmetry is of two types. The first is actinomorphic. So it actually means radial symmetry, which we saw in animals. It means that the body can be divided into two or more than two equal halves along vertical planes. Now the flower can be divided into two equal halves in any radial plane passing through the center. Example is mustard, datura and chili flower. Zygomorphic, it means bilateral symmetry, means we will get only two equal halves along a vertical plane. The flower can be divided into two similar halves only in one particular vertical plane. Example is pea, gulmohar, bean and cassia. Here we can see the symmetry. So floral symmetry, first is actinomorphic. The flower can be divided into many halves. And zygomorphic, we can see only one line can pass, dividing it into identical right and left halves. And this is asymmetrical flower. Example is canna. So in some flowers there is no symmetry, means they cannot be divided into two equal halves. So they are called asymmetrical. So what is asymmetrical? Flower cannot be divided into two similar halves by any vertical plane passing through center. Example is canna. So a flower may be according to the number of parts, means petals, sepals. They may be trimerous. It means the floral appendages or parts are in multiples of 3. It means 3, 6, 9 or 12. Tetramerous, when the flower has parts in multiple of 4, means 4, 8, 12, 16. Pentamerous, it means the flower has multiples of 5, means 5, 10, 15, 20. So flowers may be of different types according to floral parts, their number. Now there is one more term, it is called bract. So a bract is a reduced leaf. It is a small leaf found at the base of pedicel or the stalk of flower. So there is a small leaf found in some flowers. The flower which have bracts, they are called bracteate. So the flowers in which a small leaf is found at the base, it is called bracteate, and the flowers which do not have a bract, they are called abracteate, in which bract is absent. Now Flowers can also be divided into three types based on the position of gynoecium or the female reproductive part. So hypogynous, hypo means below. So when the other parts or whorls like calyx, corolla, androecium, they are found below gynoecium, it is called hypogynous flower. The gynoecium occupies highest position. So the gynoecium is at the uppermost position. Other parts are situated below. The ovary is called superior. So the ovary will be called superior in this condition. Example is mustard, China rose and brinjal. And perigynous flower, peri means in the boundary or periphery or at the same level. When the gynoecium is situated in the center and other parts are located on the rim or boundary of thalamus, almost at same level. Now the ovary is called half superior in such cases. Example is plum, rose and peach. And the third condition is epigynous. The margin of thalamus grows upward and enclosing the ovary completely and getting fused with it. So the thalamus grows upward, so the other parts of flower rise above ovary. So all the parts are above ovary and the ovary becomes inferior. Example is guava, cucumber and ray florets in sunflower. So in sunflower there are two types of flowers, ray floret and disc florets. Ray florets are long flowers. So they have epigynous flower condition. In this figure we can see the different types of flowers. First is hypogynous. Hypogynous is all the parts we can see they are below ovary. So this is the ovary, it is as the uppermost part and we can see the stamen, petal and sepal. They are all below the ovary. In the second diagram there is perigynous condition. Means all the parts are almost at the same level as ovary. Third also perigynous. All the parts are at the same level as ovary. And in the fourth epigynous, so we can see that all the parts are above ovary. Ovary is at the lower part, so it is called inferior ovary. The sepal, petal, androecium and we can see these three parts, they are above the ovary. So this condition is called epigynous. Okay children, thanks.